Call, Holayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and grew well for the hopeful 144 and the one third of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanan, and this will be titled, Here Comes the Dragons. Okay? The dragons mentioned in the Bible, specifically in Second Esdras, are referring to Ishmael, which is Abraham's oldest son. The his mother was Hagar. She got casted out because Sarah didn't want her around, and she was a handmaid. So he's been blessed. Ishmael is the wild, the crazy man. He's also the your local gas station owner. You so-called African American, Native Americans, Hispanics. Right? He's in your neighborhood, so he's got the Bugattis and all that bullshit. So he's living good. He's received his proportion along with Esau. Okay. Um. So once again, this is here comes the dragons. Okay, it's gonna be a quick hit, super quick hit. This is the book of Jeremiah 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that he have taken against Babylon, spiritual Babylon, United Snakes of America. Okay, covering all the checking off all the marks on the checklist to fit the description. All right, I don't give a damn what anybody else say. Anybody in their right mind know that this is spiritual Babylon, okay? And his purpose that he have purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, okay? And that least of the flock is Amalek. That is Esau's grandson. He is a tribe, okay? Just like and everything mirrors. Amalek is a significant tribe. Okay, so is Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim is the leader of the northern tribe. Ephraim did not come from Jacob. Ephraim came from Joseph, is Jacob's son. Okay. And that's how we had the 12 because Dan is not mentioned anymore. So I just wanted to bring that out. Amalek is a major player in this game. Read Psalms 83. Okay. He meant the first tribe mentioned that was against the first nation mentioned against all the against Yasharallah is Edom. Then you go in and it goes into the nations. Then it breaks down Amalek. How is that so? Because Amalek is his grandson. So the Lord really made a mention right there. I'm just saying. So once again, where was we at? The least of the flock. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Okay. Who is them? The nations, the adversaries, the enemies. Okay. And they've been doing a hell of a job at doing this. Pride is at an all-time high. You know what I mean? Ben Jew, you not Ben not a Jew. Ben actually born Milkowski, Nadhu. All right, which he refers to be called to, but that's not his birth given name. That's not his anyway. Um, do anything to stay in office because to stay in power, because behind him coming out of power is judgment. All right, through the courts for this genocide. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he also had issues going on prior to this so-called October 7th situation. Israel was already facing the civil war. Okay, so that can't be stated enough. That you need to understand that the situations was already bad for those people. All right, unbiblical for them to be in the land and having so much conflict, war period, when that's contradicting to the scriptures. However, okay, surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So I'm gonna read that again, of course. Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, okay, that he have taken against Babylon, spiritual Babylon, United States of America, and his purpose that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock, Amalek, shall draw them out. Okay, your little hatters, your rattish people. Remember the New York, don't ever forget the New York sewers. How could we ever forget the New York sewers? That disgusting ass act, okay? Surely he shall make their inhabitations desolate with them. Oh, yeah, and it's coming, okay? At the noise of the taking of Babylon, spiritual Babylon, once again over here, United States of America, the earth is moved and the cry is heard amongst the nations. Okay, so it's going to be televised. All right, this will definitely be televised, and at the same time, it's going to be all out annihilation for United States of America. You know, it was going to be made a memorial, and then for uh over there in the land of Israel, there it's going to be sanitized. I would like to say sanitation. You know what I mean? Cleaned it, burn it up. You know that's the best way to cleanse something. Burn it up, straight burn it like you do the grill before you cook. Burn it up, get it cleaned up, and then it's going to be prepared for you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, and Hispanics, who this world refers to as Israel, who they should come to know as Israel. Okay, Yasharallah. Fair use 107, fair use copyright. This is not for sale. This is not podcast selling product. This is strictly here for educational purposes. I pray that you edify.
Concerned about the plight of the Palestinian people right now inside Palestine to an extent where the Arab world would perhaps unite and take some of these Palestinians as refugees. There's been some sort of criticism that perhaps the weight hasn't been lifted by the Arab world. Thank you.
The weight has to be lifted, but it is not to be lifted by the Arab world. It is to be lifted by removing that weight, and that is very easy by stopping the killing, by stopping the blockade, by allowing enough humanitarian aid to go in to support the Palestinians. The Palestinians do not want to leave their land, and we are not going to encourage them or force them to leave their land, and we're not going to work with anyone who has that agenda. The Palestinians have a right to their land, and they have a right to live in safety and security and dignity on their land, and that is what we will push for, and that is what we will work towards.
Are you concerned about the plight of the Palestinian people right now? Are you concerned about the plight of the Palestinian people right now inside Palestine to an extent where the Arab world would perhaps unite and take some of these Palestinians as refugees? There's been some sort of criticism that perhaps the weight.
Now you heard her say there's some type of criticism from who? Edom. Okay. Who else? Who else is saying there's some type of criticism because you haven't stepped up? These Arab nations, Ishmael's descendants haven't stepped up and voluntarily took the will of Nero Trump, and when he says he's just gonna disperse these people amongst them, all right, because that's who you are. So go ahead and take your people. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? So once again, who has said there's been some criticism? All right. And who gives a fuck about them who said there's been some criticism? Okay. I mean, sincerely check on this though. Because at the end of the day, listen to what you use. Once again, today I heard the scripture. I heard one of the prophets say that of Great Millstone that the Bible, and we know this, the Bible is living, and I can't even quote what he said it, but he said it sounds so beautiful the way he said it. It's like it's because it's ever ongoing. I know that, and because it tells you the end. But the way he put it in the terms, it was beautiful. But what you're seeing right now, I got the scriptures for you. Okay.
Hasn't been lifted by the Arab world. Thank you.
The weight has to be lifted, but it is not to be lifted by the Arab world. It is to be lifted by removing that weight. And that is very easy by stopping the killing, by stopping the blockade, by allowing enough humanitarian aid to go in.
Now, who's doing everything contradictory to what he just said? Edom, starting with the Ish people, Amalek, the least of the flock, what I just read to you. Okay, the little hatters, helped by who? Helped by who? United States of America. Okay, led by Nero, aided, funded. Okay, also Sleepy Joe's Weekend at Bernie's. Sleepy Joe was doing the same thing. See, they're all puppets. Nothing changed up. Okay, when the new administration came in, they're puppets. Okay, ultimately going back to majority of the little flock, but they have nothing to do with the Ish people because they know that they're not the Ish people. They're just empowered because Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Okay, so pay attention to what he's saying. This is prophecy, and I'm about to get it out of one Ratazah, Lord willing.
Support the Palestinians. The Palestinians do not want to leave their land, and we are not going to encourage them or force them to leave their land, and we're not going to work with anyone who has that agenda. The Palestinians have a right to their land, and they have a right to live in safety and security and dignity on their land, and that is.
And guess what? That land belongs to you, Jake. You so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, okay, including the speckled birds, because we are scattered to all four corners of the earth, and we've been hidden amongst all the nations. Okay, but you go back to your father's seed, your father's lineage, his heritage. All right. So if you go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, of the 12 sons of Jacob, then this pertains to you, no matter what you look like. Okay, that's our land. All right. Ultimately.
What we will push for, and that is what we will work towards.
Are you concerned about the plight of the Palestinian people right now? Are you concerned about the plight?
Okay, let's get it. So you understand where he stands, okay, when it comes to this Gaza genocide and the Palestinians, okay? Now, here we go. Drum roll. Second Esdras 15 and 28. Behold, an horrible vision, okay? A terrifying sight, okay? And the appearance thereof from the east, okay? And we know that's hey, where is that? Right over there in Asia, okay? Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, that's why I named this. Here comes the dragons, and you just seen the representative of them, okay? Ishmael's people. Once again, Abraham's oldest son. All right. Abraham also had uh I know at least six sons. Abraham had multiple sons, but remember, Isaac was the chosen. Yahweh Bashim Shai, when Abraham went to sacrifice Isaac as because he was being obedient, he said, "This is your only son," and he already had Ishmael. Okay, so hey, he's the one. This is the lineager. All right, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 sons. All right, not the women, because once again, Dinah did not have a tribe. All right, her sons are Hamites. But back to this, Salakia. Second Esdras 15 and 29, where the nations of the dragons, who is that Ishmael, once again, all right, of Arabia, shall come out with many chariots. And we know what those modern chariots are today when it pertains to war. Okay. And the multitudes of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Okay, especially if you're in that region, and that includes fucking Israel. All right, all right. This is 31, Second Esdras 29 and 31. And then shall the dragons, once again, who is that? Ishmael. All right. And what did he say? That they feel like Palestine deserves to be where they at, and then they shouldn't be removed. Okay. Contradicting to Nero and the Edomites, all right, who feel like they should throw their weight around whenever they feel like it. Okay. Now peep this out. Now hear this. And then show second Esdras 15 and 31, and then show the dragons have the upper hand. How? Remembering their nature, because remember, Ishmael is a wild man. These motherfuckers been at each other's throats forever, but now Yahweh Bashim Shah is putting them back into in their posture, just like he did to Russia. Remember, he said he would put hooks in Magog Gog and Magog's jaw, which is Russia, and he did that by the raising up of Putin. Now he's about to make these all of these fucking Arabian nations and whatnot that have been going at each other. He's going to bring them back together because they all had the same common enemy, Edom. Okay, all right. So 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, who they are. And if they shall turn themselves, once again, the same lingo, conspiring together, come on, coming together in great power to persecute them. Who is them? Gotta be starting with Edom, because that's their only problem. Okay, see, Yahweh Bashmi Shai has fixed the whole world against Edom. Okay, so ain't no way around it. This is a pretty ugly sight right now. You don't want to be part of this alliance. Believe me, this is part of the reason Jacob, I'm talking to you, that the scripture said, come up out of her. And that does not mean for us to get on planes and fly up out of here or take a boat. No, that means untouch mentally. Just like the movie Matrix. Unplug your fucking self and face reality. Okay? And learn the name is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Not any other name can you be justified or saved by. Okay? With that, I pray that this was edifying. One more time. Here comes the dragons. Shalom.